So now at 23, how do you want to proceed with your life until the age of 30? What's your 7-year plan?
I want to have a decent balance of enjoying what I've achieved. That's why we're on here on a yacht. But honestly, like I was talking to my coaches and I'm like, why am I so driven? Like, why do I want to achieve so many results? Why do I want to keep chasing? And he was like, I mean, that's just how you're wired. Like, don't apologize for that. I feel like a lot of us, we get guilty, especially me. Like I have a wife, a kid. I feel like I want to have family life, but I also want to chase my dreams, fulfill my passion, and fulfill my potential. So I feel like it's cliche to say, but I think there is always a balance. But one thing Ed Milet said, which I think was interesting, is life and work balance is never, there is no balance. Think about a seesaw or a teeter-totter. There's always gonna be two sides, and it's fun when it goes back and forth. Like, there's times where I'm very focused on work, getting clients, getting leads, building the business, which I feel like is where I'm at right now. That's why I'm here in Miami, here in Fort Lauderdale, just chasing my passion, building my business. And there's also times to enjoy what you've achieved. That's why we're here on the yacht. So I feel like it always goes back and forth, and that's what makes life fun. Going back to like what Ed said, he said like, you're gonna look back on this time, and the one thing you can't get back is time. Like, you can always get back more money, you can make more money, but Alex Ramosi said, he asked a ton of people, a ton of billionaires, like, would you give your money to go back to your 20s? And they all said yes. Like, I would love to give my money to go back to 20, 25, 30, because like, you can make more money, you can always get more money, but you can't get back time. So I try to keep a conscious mindset, and I think it's nice to know that I can enjoy the fruits of my labor while still being motivated, and knowing that I don't have to apologize for being motivated. Like, that's how you're wired. Like, you're on the phone 24/7. Even when we went on our trip, it's like you're always on the grind, locking in deals, but that's what feels fun to us. Like, we're getting content right now, it's my birthday, I'm chilling, but it's like, this is what feels fun to us. So I'm at this point where it's like, I don't give a shit. I don't apologize for who I am. I'm motivated. I'm always somewhat in work mode. I can turn it off and go hang out with the family, hang out with my daughter. But at the same time, it's like, I'm chasing my potential, and I feel like God put us here for a reason. We can have whatever we want, and we're God's highest form of creation. So if I'm not here to really fulfill that, then I feel like I'm not doing my part. So I always try to keep a balanced mindset. Like, I definitely want to enjoy what I achieve, but I'm also not I don't feel guilty or feel like I'm doing too much by pouring in to my business, to my work, because at the end of the day, it's about the potential, helping clients, helping my team make more money and fulfill and just reach that next level. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Amazing. And something that I want to touch up on, which I feel a lot of people that are in a relationship, they struggle with this. From my point of view, you haven't so much, but I haven't went into your life and asked you this question. So how long have you been with Clara for in total, since dating, being your girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, I met Clara in high school, so I've known her since I was like 15, 16 years old.
So along that, there were 15, 16 years old, you're now 23. So along that, there was a lot of periods of time when you were grinding very hard, and probably you can agree that there was times when you were grinding even harder than you are today.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're in your first stages, you got to take every call that you can get. And now you're at a stage where you can take a weekday off and go to the beach, etc. A lot of people struggle with their partner telling them that they need to balance more, they need to live that balanced life, they need to work less, they need to shut off the phone at 8 p.m. What would you say to that? And have you encountered those issues with your partner throughout these last years?
No, I have to give a huge shout out to Clara, because she has never once said, why are you working so late? Come home, help me with this, this, and that. You want to make sure that you're on the same page. Like, really, it comes down to communication in a relationship. So if you can be with a spouse or a partner and they know that you're motivated, you're hustling, you're trying to reach that next level, as long as you're on the same page, it doesn't matter. Like, I also take time, I'll take Fridays off and hang out with Clara. We go on dates every single week on Friday. So I try to make time for her. You don't want to just leave it and neglect it. But at the same time, she's never once said, why are you working so hard? Why are you grinding so hard? When is enough enough? So it's always been something where she knows that I have a mission, and she just does her part to catapult that. And
do you think that you were just blessed with having a girl that is understanding and like that? Or do you think there was anything that you did throughout your entrepreneurship journey where you slowly started mentioning that to her, or brought her to certain rooms and environments where she could see how other entrepreneur couples act, so that she could then have a sense of why she should replicate that and be understanding like that? Or do you think it just came?
No, I think that's a good question. I honestly think it's a mix of both. Like, we actually got engaged at the Vault conference with Patrick Bet-David. So we went there.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we had a whole 3-day event, and it's like at the end of it, I proposed, and now we're married, obviously. But I think it's a mix. Like, she was definitely always on board with it. Like, I've met people, and they're just like, their spouse is just like totally not on board with it. They're like, why are you working so hard? Like, why can't you just chill? Like, you made X amount per month. Like, why can't we just take a vacation? So I definitely, I want to give credit to her. Like, I'm definitely blessed with just how her mentality is. But at the same time, I'm doing my part by taking her to events, showing her like what's possible, and also putting in my effort into taking her on date nights. And I also think it comes down to like the intentionality of the time I spend with her, because like, I'm sure you know, like, our work brain almost never turns off. It's like I could be with my family or be with my daughter, but all I'm thinking about is closing the next deal, making the next, income, or helping the next client, or I'm like on my phone helping clients. So I've had to be very intentional with how I spend my time. Like, 1 hour intentionally with my daughter is worth way more than 4 hours, but I'm in work mode. I'm thinking about, the next deal. So I think it's also about like how intentional are you with your time, and how you can actually delegate that in a fashion that makes sense for them, but also fuels my goals.
100%. So if you need a relationship coach, you know who to hit up. Man of the hour,
Let's
right?
get it.
Let's go. Happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.